What's happening, people? We're going to do some Pulsechain trading. Pulsechain trading today. DeFi trading. Day 3 of camp charts, learning about DeFi trading. We're going to go over the Pulsechain network, DeFi, how to use MetaMask wallet, how to import contract address, which is a token address, TAME token. I'm going to give a few minutes for people to get in here before we start. And while we're waiting on people to get in here, I'm going to send out a little bit more of that crypto from people that did the form. Some people did it very late, but just sending that out real quick for some of you guys that did the form so you'd be able to participate. I'm sending them a little bit of Pulsechain, a little bit of TAME token so that they can do some of these lessons. How are you guys doing today? Looking at the charts over here. Let's watch the charts while this is happening, though. We had a recent green block from Doge at 11.8 cents range. And we're actually going up. I drew another green block from the dips. We had 2 green blocks. This green block's performing the best so far. The first green block up here earlier today performed all right as well. But this green block is going up more rapidly, I should say. The candles are very beefy compared to what we saw earlier today, which is good. If you're in a long, if you got caught that long on the bottom, it's good. But we're going to go over to Pulsechain and stuff in a few minutes. Let me finish sending out some of these tokens. It's only a few more wallets to send out the tokens to, so we can watch these charts while people are coming in here as well. We have 12 people that are coming in here tonight. Let me make sure the chat's good and monetization's off. Chats for subscribers. So I put that link in here as well for some of you guys that want to do this lesson tonight. I'll put that Pulsechain link in the chat as well. I'll pin that message. Anybody in the chats? Let me refresh it. I don't see the people talking in the chat. Might be a glitch. All right, there it goes. Anybody on Discord ready for the lesson tonight? Get you guys some tokens. Sending some more crypto out to these addresses. It takes a little bit of time to send out a lot of crypto to a lot of people. This wallet got lucky. I made a typo. Someone got a lot of extra Pulsechain. I made a typo, so lucky for, lucky for you, Kyle, if you're out there, Kyle. I sent Kyle too many Pulsechain. It's okay, though. Good way to start the stream. The Pulsechain fees are increasing a little bit right now, but they were very cheap when I started sending it earlier. But still, it's very cheap. A few more wallets. While we're waiting on people to come in here, we're going to watch these charts and then I will finish sending up some of this crypto. Some people waited until last minute, even today, to put their address. Hope everyone's ready today to learn a little bit more. Yeah, even ETHW is getting a lot of buy pressure after that last green block range too. See that big green candle over there on the right side. Bitcoin dropped under $60,000 a little bit earlier, but recovered. Few more minutes while we wait for people to join in here. A few more addresses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that did it late. Sending those guys some crypto real quick as well. Figure everyone that's going to be doing this, starting off on the same balance would be good. Let's look at the RSI levels on Doge while this is happening. Is it just two planes? Indicator RSI. Just delete everything. Let's modify my RSI setting real quick as well. Or I'm just going to copy the RSI from over here and paste it in here. You can just copy your indicators on TradingView like that. So the RSI did get a little bit overbought on the 5 minutes here. Some people are emailing me questions still. What's happening, Mark? I emailed you, Mark. I'm RSI is coming down. Let's watch the price over here for Doge. We do have a golden cross forming though. That golden cross is a bullish indicator. It's a 5 minute bullish indicator for this golden cross. So it's not too impactful. I'm still seeing out a little bit of the crypto for some of you guys. Yeah, if that golden cross works out, Doge should start heading back up here as well. I have about 4 more addresses to send this crypto to that filled out the form from yesterday. So congratulations to you guys. Working on these transactions. 3 wallets remaining to give you guys some of that free crypto so that this lesson tonight is a lot easier. using the MetaMask for this transactions real quick. I think I have one wallet remaining after this. And then we're good. Just watching the charts. I'll talk about my last trade from yesterday too, from yesterday's lesson. I did add more to my position yesterday. All right, I'm sending the last transaction right now. Anyone after this, you're too late. I gave you about 3 days to do this, so anybody after this is too late. Let me color this so that I know. All right, anybody that fills this form out for the crypto after, you're a little bit late. Sorry, we had 3 days, and I don't want to impede the lesson too much. We're already a little bit behind here. So welcome. Everyone, today we're going to go over the Pulsechain network and how to do some trades in Pulsechain. Yeah, I'm in a long on Doge. Let's talk about that trade real quick and I'll go a little bit deeper. So, if you're in the Discord, you'll be able to see this about TAME and be able to follow all the Pulsechain stuff in there as well easily. But earlier today for the chart, I did add more to my Doge long right here. At 5:45 p.m., it was around 11.8 cents when I added to that long. The position is still down. When I go over here, you guys see that position is down. We can review it real quick though before we go a little bit deeper. Look at liquidation prices and everything. Oh, the issue is that the chart's going to be zoomed in, but that's fine. Let me fix the chart. So this is how the Doge trade is so far. I did add more to my position. So now I have $213 into my position right now. I had about $99 yesterday, so I doubled my position. And I also brought my liquidation price down by adding more margin into the account. My liquidation now is about 11,267, so just a little bit lower. And this is a risky trade. Higher risk, higher reward. There's about 368 margin left in here. And this is liquidate. I'll open another position. But let's go dive in to the lesson. The first website you're going to use. Let's look at some stats real quick. GoPulse.com. I'll type it in the chat. I'll put a link in the chat. This is the Pulsechain website for finding statistics and data. The first thing I see on this website is talking about the Pulsechain. It's a 0.44 times sacrifice rate, which means the price is under sacrifice rate. And let's do the math here. 1 minus 0.44 plus 1 times 0.000439 So it means sacrifice rate was up a little bit more than this. Let's go to the TradingView chart. Let's go to the TradingView chart and look at this Pulsechain chart real quick. So this is Pulsechain on MET-C. We can look at the Pulsechain on MET-C chart. It's not going to give as much data. So we're going to go to Pulsechain up here, crypto. This one's with wrap pulse to DAI. Yeah, I think this might be a good chart. Let's double check the price. Yeah, this is an okay chart. It's an okay chart, but it's missing a lot of data as well. Let me look at this real quick. Is that about no? Let's see if there's a better chart on TradingView. I wish TradingView had like a date. The only centralized exchange it's on is MET-C right now. And there's a lot of scams on here too that it's showing. Let's see this chart. It's not really showing as much data. I have to go to debt screener. And then I have to put the Pulsechain address in here as well. Because there's people that like to scam and copy names. So I'm going to copy the contract address. Just copying the contract address. Because if you go to the GoPulse website, you look at this chart, it's just a little bit wonky. I guess we can use this chart though. It's just integrated into here. So this is going to be that Pulsechain chart. Let's look at it on the weekly. So this is our Pulsechain weekly chart, what it looks like. It did make another attempt to come back up, but it got pushed down quite hard, as you can see. We pulled this up by about 44%. Sorry. Let me look at my calculator one more time. 1.56. 156. .0011 is around the sacrifice rate for most people. So let me double check measure this. We can say 0.0010. This is close to sacrifice rate, this blue line. Not exactly, but close. Let's change it. Let's pull this up. Because they had a sacrifice rate, different amounts get different points. And then I'm going to go on Discord. I'm going to check the average sacrifice rate as well. Let me double check this real quick. Yeah, this is the same thing I had in Discord as well. This sacrifice rate a while back. We have the chart up here. This one's pretty big. Let's put it down 28. Actually, we don't need this. Let's just do a regular TET spots is fine for this. So this is our sacrifice rate, and Pulsechain's down. When we're charting Pulsechain, it's down. But I'm going to teach you how to change crypto on the Pulsechain network. Some people call it swapping. I still call it trading, but it's going to be more DeFi trading. And this is a chart. This is the token that you're going to be paying the gas fees in, Pulsechain token. So first things first, you want to go to your MetaMask and add the Pulsechain network. Let me see if I can do this over here for you guys real quick. I'm going to add a screen capture. And so this is the same thing you guys are seeing, but right here when I do this, boom, you'll be able to see MetaMask. So first thing first, we're going to add Pulsechain onto MetaMask. So you click up here, browser, go to MetaMask. If you don't have MetaMask, go to www.metamask.io. I'll throw this link in the chat. Install this on your Brave browser or your Google Chrome browser. I'm using Brave browser. So step 1, install this. And let me see real quick. Step 1, MetaMask. Step 2, import Pulsechain network. All right, so if you guys already added MetaMask to your browser, I'll give you a second for those who don't have it added. And while we're waiting for those who are adding it to their network, if you're in my Discord and you want to get through this a lot faster, go to the About TAME channel. It'll teach you how to install MetaMask, how to import the Pulsechain network with the Pulsechain name, the RPC URL, chain ID, currency symbol. We're going to use this for the next part for you guys who already have the part installed. So we're going to go back over here. Now we go into our MetaMask. At the top here, you can click Pulsechain network. If you don't have Pulsechain up here by default, although I think it should be by default for most MetaMask, you will click add network. You type Pulsechain. It's not showing. I think it's because I already have it added. So you can click add network manually. Pulsechain like this. Make sure it's capital letters at the P and the C and the RPC URL. Make sure everything's copied exactly. And for the blockchain explorer, this one's going to be optional. I'll give you a second. Make sure yours are the same. Also, it looks like this in the Discord if you want to read it a little bit better. And I'll throw this in the chat for you guys as well. I'll just copy and paste everything in there. All right, you guys take a screenshot. If you don't have this done yet, take a screenshot so you're not too far behind. And I have it in here. And then you can just click save. And then you can switch to the Pulsechain network after that. Boom. All right, you're in your Pulsechain network. Now, let's look at the chart a little bit more. So you can see we're below sacrifice. We've been above sacrifice a few times when the OA started buying more. We went up back 100% here, so it has dips. If we go back up double top to this 2-0 range, 0-0-0-2 range, that could give us a nice bag. So we go from current price to that 0.002 range. It could push us up there. Let me add the magnet on here though. That'd be about 365% push up. Let me go ahead and draw that on here for the charts. 365. Let me take a screenshot of this as well. All right, so I have a screenshot of that. I'm going to throw this in my charts channel before we proceed with the lesson real quick for some of the people to get this idea. I'm going to draw a green square in there as well for the Discord for the green block. Just letting you guys know. Weekly green block for the Pulsechain. Let me throw this in the chart. Okay, let's go a little bit further into this lesson. The actual platform for trading on Pulsechain, go over here, go pulsechain.com. I'm going to copy this link for you guys. You can put it in your browser. Hope you guys are able to copy these links. And when you get to this website, you're going to click trade. There's two ways about this. You can download this on Windows and then open that file. That file will give you an IP address. You put that IP address in your browser and make sure your port is open. Or B, you can just go to the IPFS cloud. We'll use this one for now. It's more simple. So you guys don't have to see me putting it in the IP and everything. So right now, by default, I'm already connected to my wallet. I'm going to disconnect just to show you like starting fresh. All right, so we're going to connect to wallet, MetaMask. And I already logged in on a page. I just disconnected it from this one. And make sure your MetaMask is on the Pulsechain network. And if you see a Pulsechain balance over here, if you see a Pulsechain balance, congratulations, you received the free Pulsechain that I sent you guys that filled out the form earlier. If you don't see the Pulsechain balance, you didn't do the form right. But I did send out the free Pulsechain to you guys earlier. All right. So one thing that you won't see on here, you won't see the TAME token on here. We have to add that contract address. So I'm going to grab that TAME token contract address for you. There's two ways about this. We can go here, www.tametoken.com. And this will load that debt screener. And you see this copy button right here. You just copy this. Copy this. Go back to the Pulset site. And that address, I'll put it in the YouTube chat. And I'm going to verify that in my Discord as well with my TAME token contract address I have in my Discord. Correct. That is the correct TAME token address. And that address in Discord is, you have to scroll down a little bit and boom, it's right there. So first things first, let's add TAME token to MetaMask. Go up here to MetaMask, open your MetaMask, click import tokens, paste that contract address I put in the YouTube chat, hit next. Yes, import custom token. I think because I already have it on here, it's going to pop up. But let's try that one more time as well, just in case. Import tokens, contract address. Token has already been added. So this is going to be on the Pulsechain network. Make sure your MetaMask, when you're adding these tokens, is already on the Pulsechain network. And then when you're in the Pulsets app over here, just click something like Pulsets. And then you're going to click Manage Tokens right here. At the bottom, click Manage Tokens. And then you're going to click Tokens on the right side. Paste that contract address I put in the chat. This will be a TAME token. And it will show that it's active over here. And then you can save it, go off here. But basically, if you go to the Pulsechain and you go to TAME token, you could swap 10 Pulsechain for TAME token. It says no liquidity. How do we fix that problem? Go up here to the top settings, turn on auto router, and auto router will go from the liquidity pair DAI and give us Pulsechain. Now when I switch from 10 Pulsechain to TAME token, it does say that price impact will be about 17% because it is going through that auto router as well. There's more liquidity on the DAI stablecoin. So if you switch your 10 Pulsechain for DAI first, and then change that DAI into TAME token, you'll have a slippage. So on the top here, let's just change it to the TAME token though. So let's do 10 Pulsechain for TAME. It does say we're going to have some price impact. Hit swap. You're going to have to confirm this in your MetaMask. It's going to cost you 52 Pulsechain for the gas fee. I sent you more than enough Pulsechain to make it cheaper for you guys. So you'll be able to afford those gas fees and do these transactions. Who's following along with the lesson? And it's pending the transaction. So when I look over here at MetaMask, it's pending that multi-call. It may ask you for a signature to confirm if you want to spend Pulsechain as well. And you can just approve that. So I'm waiting on this transaction. I'm not going to hit swap again twice. For my settings, I could like spam this button if I really wanted to. And there it goes. It says transaction receipt. We can view it on the auto scan now. It shows that it was successful. It was able to transfer my 10 Pulsechain. And I think it gave me about 26 TAME token. So it's pretty cool, pretty nice. And if I go to that TAME token chart right here, I'm guessing other people did similar transactions as well because it put it on the charts. Yeah, it was able to track that transaction as well. So we put it on the 1 minute, we can see that small transaction, and I can leave this up as well for a few seconds so that if some of you guys are doing something similar and practicing, you have that same transaction. If anybody on Discord or YouTube chat has any questions or trouble figuring this out, let me know. If you have my email from the course, tametheark@gmail.com, you can email me there as well. I'll try to help answer those questions. Anybody, I see only my transaction for this one, but we also, they went through the, let's go here and type TAME and let's just see. Because I don't have a Pulsechain liquidity pool, but I guess it's making one. Let me copy my contract address and put it in here. Someone does have a wrapped liquidity pool right here. Wow. Wow. Actually, the price went really high right here. What? So Pulsechain liquidity, I mean, this like no liquidity. Most of the liquidity is in DAI. I don't see the transaction for this one either. Let's see which one actually moved recently. That one didn't move. But it probably auto-routed and went through the DAI because I see it right here. So I think it transferred mine and other people at the same time. So I put, this one says 90 cents. Maybe that was my transaction. How much is 10 Pulsechain? 10 Pulsechain is not even 90 cents. It's not even 1 cent, to put it in perspective. I'm looking at the chart here a little bit more, see if anybody else did that transaction. Some of the people may be able to figure this out a little bit later. So Mark sent me a screenshot. He says his is grayed out, his transaction. If it's grayed out, go up there to your MetaMask. Go up to your MetaMask and make sure when you click your MetaMask inside the Activities tab that you have no pending transactions to approve this. And also on the Pulsechain side, make sure in your settings that you have your slippage tolerance up to 49%. auto router, expert mode, and disable multi-hops. You don't have, you can just take off disable multi-hops as well. You don't need that on there. So I'm going to show you one more time. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to put 10 Pulsechain. I'm going to swap it for the TAME token. Or I'm going to do 100 this time. Or how about this? I'll do 100,000. How much would 100,000 Pulsechain do for the TAME token? 96%. I will swap anyways. Confirm. Let's see. I have to approve that. So right here, you see the MetaMask, you have to approve the transaction because I don't have auto approve on, keeping this part manual. So now I paid the gas fee and it's going to swap. I'm waiting. I don't want to click it twice. It's going to transact and swap. And then in a few seconds after that transaction goes through, I'll be able to see it on the debt screener side. So let me draw a line right before where I do this transaction, just to let you guys see. And this is how you're able to swap the Pulsechain that I gave you for free for some TAME tokens, or vice versa. So I'm starting to see a little bit more green candle right here, and I don't see a transaction on the debt screener. Might be a little bit delayed. There goes one. So this one was somebody else. Someone else did this transaction. They were able to swap about 14 cents worth of US dollars for about 68,000 TAME token. And this is their recent trade that they've done on their first buys. Let me clear that filter. So I see one person was able to do this. Let me check my email one more time, make sure they're able to do this, follow along. Is there anybody in Discord that would like to try as well that hasn't bought any TAME token or did any transactions that would like to practice with a little bit of Pulsechain for free? If so, let me know. You can speak up or message me on Discord if you don't have a microphone. So that price impact isn't in DAI. That price impact is for Pulsechain because there is no liquidity pool for Pulsechain. Maybe I will make one, but the liquidity pool is in DAI stablecoin. So I see that transaction. Let me go back up here though to the debt screener. I'm going to copy the contract address. I'm going to check here and see if anything went up recently. Nope, I don't see any pair that went up recently as well. So I don't know why it said the price impact was that high. Price did not move that high. Price definitely did not move that high. It went up like 6%. All right. You guys hear me okay on Discord, YouTube? Audio sounding pretty good today. So same thing. If we go back over here to the MetaMask. Actually, I don't think I did swap. I think I approved it, but I didn't swap. Let me see. I think this is just for the approval process. Let me check my balance if my balance went down. No, it did swap. I did swap because my balance dropped. So if I do another 96%, I don't think this is going to be the price impact. I think maximum like 49% after slippage. So let's do this one more time. Confirm. All right, and it's swapping. And go back to the TameToken.com. I see someone sold right here as well. They sold about 27 cents worth of TAME tokens, which is about 129,000 TAME token. So there goes the other transaction right there. And we can see it made the price go up a little bit. So from starting that buy above this line, it's about 10%. So basically those small buys with the $268 of liquidity, price went up 10% since we started this lesson. and the volume's low as well. So over the last 10 minutes, price is up about 10% as well, even more than 10% over the last 10 minutes. There's not a lot of liquidity here on TAME token. I can add a liquidity pool. Let me do that real quick as well. A very small one. So I'm going to go liquidity version 2, and let's add a liquidity pool. Let's say I want to add 400,000 Pulsechain. It's not a lot, it's about $17, and I'll add the TAME token. So that would add about 857,000 TAME token. But the dollar value is a little bit weird here. And then we're going to enable this. And when you enable this, you have to pay a gas fee just for the enabling part. You'll also have to pay a gas fee after you enable as well. But this is me adding a little bit more liquidity, but on a new Pulsechain. Most of the liquidity is on DAI, if you look at it up there too. Now we have to enable TAME. This is going to be another 40 Pulsechain gas fee, maximum limit. It's only 6 Pulsechain now for that gas fee. Not bad. This got a lot cheaper. I think the supply is where the gas fee gets a lot higher. No, I thought I was on version 2. I thought I clicked version 2 on here. Version 1 will help buy and burn pulsets. Version 2 is going to out-earn like 0.22% of trading fees. So, reminder, if you're holding a lot of TAME token, one way you can hedge it is by providing liquidity. So let me supply this. Version 2 is what I want. And look, the liquidity is more fair here. So I'll put about 8 million TAME token in this liquidity. MetaMask is pending that transaction. So I just supplied that, and you can look at the liquidity. It was confirmed right here. You can check the blockchain explorer. It was confirmed. And I added legal liquidity. It says that I added about 8 million TAME token. It took a little bit of Pulsechain. I don't know why, like a fraction of one. It's weird. And this is the liquidity pool like token. When I go back over here now this is going to create another chart, by the way. I go to my contract up here, go over here. When I go right here now, when I exchange, when I do 10,000 Pulsechain, or let's say 5,000, I know I gave most of you guys about 10,000 TAME token and 500 Pulsechain, but now when I try to change 10,000 or 5,000 Pulsechain for this TAME token, let's see if it pops up another chart on the debt screener since I've added liquidity. Or we can make this super small. Let's start with like 10. Let's make this super small. Start with 10 so the first candles are small while we're adding liquidity. It still says 15% price impact. Let's do 1. Yeah, this is very little price impact to confirm. So I'm swapping. I'll do 1 Pulsechain for 2 TAME token. That's a good ratio. It's a good ratio. I like it. And that is swapping. That's confirming. And after this is confirmed on the blockchain, the Pulsechain scan. It's not there yet. It's going to confirm. After it's confirmed, it will load. But we're going to go to debt screener in a few minutes and then look at this. I'm going to copy the token address. So I'm sending one more, Joe King, a little bit more Pulsechain so he can do this as well. Checking my email, I have a few questions. Mark says, here's a slippage set 0.5, doesn't need to be changed. Yes. I'm going to send you a screenshot of my exact settings for this, Mark, so that you have it exactly the same as well. Oh, man. I don't know, Microsoft Paint's being weird now that I'm streaming. I'm going to send you a screenshot, Mark, of the settings that I'm using for this. All right. Joe's got it. Mark's got it going. Anybody else have any issues? All right, so we're going to look at the chart over here now. Let's flip it a little bit. Let's put TAME token versus Pulsechain to see how it's been doing over the last 24 hours. And then I'm going to swap another one while I'm waiting, confirm. Keep in mind, this is super low liquidity. Have the one Pulsechain. And it dropped drastically over 24 hours. I don't know why. I think it's because that liquidity pool put the price too cheap. So I'm going to go back over here to the debt screener. I'm going to copy the address. I'm going to throw it up here as well. And maybe there's a new liquidity pool. Here it goes. No, why does it say version 1? I thought we went to version 2 liquidity. What? Maybe someone else put this liquidity pool? Oh man, this is a disaster. No. No, 1800%, no. I think this might be that old liquidity pool. It's going through version 1. It's routing these transactions through version 1. But this liquidity less than the liquidity pool I just provided. So let's go back over here. Let's go to liquidity and version 2. No, I just made liquidity pool version 2. Yes, it's still routing through that. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to change. I'm going to say one Pulsechain, and I'm going to disable auto router. No more auto router. One Pulsechain to get some TAME tokens. We're going to swap this bad boy. Disable that auto router. And we're going to confirm this transaction. But look at this debt screener. It auto routed, or some of those old transactions filtered through that old liquidity pair. These are all like less than a penny transactions. Except for this one transaction right here 3 months ago. So this is someone else's liquidity pool that they've created, apparently. But we go back over here. Let me put the contract address one more time. Here it goes. There goes the right liquidity pool that we just started back again on these trades. All right, I found the liquidity pool, but it still says less than $1. So it's not that one. Let me double check. It should be more than $1 liquidity. But this is version 2. Let me keep an eye on this one for now. This one says less than $1 liquidity. I don't know why. Let me put a rocket on there. This one's very old liquidity. What is this? Like, these volumes are like, it's not even that much volume. It's like 467 volume over the past 121 days because we don't use this liquidity pool. We go up here, type TAME, and we're mostly using the DAI liquidity. Up here, you'll see the logo and everything. So Tametoken.com to view the chart. Quan says he doesn't have a MetaMask. Go to MetaMask.io. You're going to install this into your browser. So I already have it installed, but go to MetaMask.io to get your MetaMask Quan. And then when you have your MetaMask, you can go from there. And if you guys were able to do a trade like this, put it and share your entries or show off your profits somewhere in the Discord so I know you were able to do this trade. And then Quan, after you have your MetaMask set up, you might have to rewatch your stream since you're late as well. But you'll go to your MetaMask at the top. You will make sure that when you click networks, you'll go to Pulsechain network. If you don't have Pulsechain network, you're going to add network. You're going to type Pulsechain up here. And it may auto-populate. Otherwise, you have to add network manually. You're going to tap capital P, lowercase letters. So the capital P and capital C here. For the RPC, if you're in my Discord, you have access to this information a while back in the About Tame channel. So near the top, like the second channel, About Tame, you're going to have the network name, the RPC URL, copy paste this. The chain ID is 369. Currency symbol, PLS. And I think you can view it up in the YouTube chat as well. In the Blockchain Explorer, you can use the Otter. And then you just save this. But yeah, this is already in use by the Pulsechain network. I already have it in there. So this is what it's going to look like when you are importing Pulsechain. And if you want to know how to get the contract address to add the TAME token, so in your MetaMask as well, go to your MetaMask if you want to import TAME token. You would go over here at the top. Make sure you're on Pulsechain network. Scroll down to tokens. When you click tokens, you scroll down, you click import tokens, and you put the TAME token contract address there. How do you get that contract address? You go to www.tametoken.com. You click this copy button up here beside the word TAME. So when you go back to your MetaMask, I copy that address. I go to tokens, import tokens, paste that address. This token address has already been added. So you paste it in there, you save it, go through with that. And then you go to pulsechain.com, www.pulsechain.com. This is going to be that swap for the Pulsechain. You click trade. You can open up the Pinata Cloud. And same thing, when you come right here, that bottom, click the bottom token, whatever it is. Click manage tokens. Click token over here. And you paste that TAME token contract address here. It will pop up the name. And then you can start trading. So I'll do it one more time. I'll do like 10 Pulsechain for the TAME token. And this time it will give me about 200 TAME token. I hit swap and confirm. If it's not letting you swap it, go to your settings at the top. Make sure 49% slippage. Make sure you have expert mode on. You can turn auto router on. That will help get your transaction cheaper sometimes. But I just have expert mode on and it's working. And then it says transaction is pending. After it's done pending, you can view it in your MetaMask as well. Just make sure when you go to MetaMask and activities, nothing is pending here. Make sure you confirm it. But if I look at the chart here, it says in the last 24 hours, TAME token went down versus Pulsechain, which is weird because I didn't see Pulsechain spike up in price recently. But if you look at it over like the past year or so, TAME token versus Pulsechain, yeah, you can use the IPFS joking. But if you look at it over the past year, TAME token's up 400% versus the Pulsechain. All right, checking the email, answering your questions. Discord, answering your questions. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Discord. If you're in Discord, you can shoot me a message. If we want to chart the TAME token a little bit, we can look at that as well on the debt screener. We can chart this on the debt screener as well. You don't need to. You can swap the Pulsechain for TAME token directly, Joe King. But make sure you always keep Pulsechain, some Pulsechain in your wallet, because that's what you use for the gas fees, the PLS. You can even swap like a little bit of Pulsechain for DAI stablecoin. Like if I wanted to swap like 1,000 for DAI, it would give me about 4 cents. It's not a lot. You could swap 1,000 Pulsechain for DAI. Boom. And then your gas fee is going to be about 33 Pulsechain. That's a pretty high gas fee ratio for this swap. I would do at least 10,000. At least 10,000 if I was going to do that. But these gas fees aren't too high. Like this gas fee right now is less than 1 cent for that estimated gas fee, which is not bad. Less than 1 cent for a transaction is very cheap in the world of crypto. And then after I swap that Pulsechain for DAI, I could also swap that DAI for TAME token. Either way. So let's flip it now. We have a little bit of DAI now from that transaction. And then I could swap out that DAI for TAME token. I have this balance right here. Let's just say 0.48 to round it up nice and even. I click swap. MetaMask is going to pop up for confirming that transaction. And it's going to view that transaction. When we go back to the TameToken.com chart, this is the chart you're going to see. I have it zoomed in kind of. Liquidity is only about 265. A lot of people took profits after this token hit a new all-time high. If you zoom out on the daily chart, this is what we see on that daily chart. And realistically, nobody got in between this area to this area. Nobody really got in there. That was like liquidity being added. If the people got in, it was after this line right here. So from this line right here until that all-time high, TAME token went up over 4,620%. And that took about 108 days to hit that big all-time high. But if you look right here from this bar until here, it took about 22 days for the first all-time high, which was not bad. 22 days for that first real big all-time high. I mean, day after day, we were making all-time highs for a period of time. Had a downturn. People lost a little bit of interest, and it started shooting back up. Started trying to form a bull flag on the daily, and then boom, it broke out, is what I remember on those charts. But if you were in my Discord, and you go to the charts here, and we type TAME, let's type TAME token, and let's go old. Actually, these might be the older ones. So this was day 3 of low liquidity TAME on Pulsets. So we had these charts a while back. One day it pumped 68,000% and then dumped right back down 96,000%. I think this was on super ultra low liquidity. But yeah, this is a chart. It did have an all-time low right here after. So from this line right here, after retail got into a drop here, it did drop over 39% from that initial price. People started buying. And if you look over here, I want to talk about the risk of this token as well. Even though it did go up and still up and up to the right, like 650% from the area where retail started trading this thing, there are some risk. So guys, something very simple. You guys might not think about this. Make sure the same browser that you're opening this in is the same browser that your MetaMask is on. Don't have your MetaMask on Google Chrome and try to open this website on Brave. It will not work. Everything needs to be in the same browser or it will not work. Let's go over some of the risk about TAME token though, because the chart looks beautiful. This is like one of the best charts that I've seen from a crypto for 136-day period, not even a whole year. Not even a whole year, and this is what the chart looks like. Come on. Not even a whole year. Liquidity has been going up a little bit since we started the stream by a few dollars. Very low liquidity. But liquidity low while the price is high, that's a risk. Liquidity low while price is high, that is a risk that you are going to be facing over here. So let me add some notes on this chart that I'm making. For my TAME token. Price high with low liquidity. But guys, if you're having trouble because you're opening it in the wrong browser, it's very simple. Whatever browser you have MetaMask installed on, open these links on MetaMask. So this is the low liquidity that we're looking at now. And right here also low amount of supply added to liquidity pool. But if nobody adds more of the supply to the liquidity pool here, price will go parabolic. That's the issue. So this is day 136. Day 136 TAME token. Day 136 TAME token, and this is where we're at now. So we're not even at a full year yet for this chart. We don't even have 12 months worth of data for this chart. This chart would look very wonky if you put it on like the weekly. Let me show you real quick. Let me save this. Oh. You put this thing on the weekly or 1 week, it looks like this. On the weekly, you have just about 20 bars. So we'll put it back on the daily. I think if TAME breaks this resistance, double top is bearish, but we're not there yet. If we go from the current price to double top, that's about 500%. It's a big move up if it goes up 500%. I imagine more people would take profits there if they saw the price go all-time high. There's quite a lot of people that are taking the profits on this TAME token whenever the big whale wallets start buying up. But they're also giving up their TAME token. I've only seen a few people that take profits and get to buy in lower. Many wallets that take profits, they don't get those lower prices for a period of time. But we get those spikes, drops down 97%, get a spike, drop down about 50%. Spike, drop down 70%. Spike, drop down 79%. New all-time high, drop down over 94%. But after that 94% drop down, it did bounce up over 300%. So the upsides are always bigger than the downsides because you can't go down more than 99%. I mean, you can go 100%, but you can't go down more than 100. Like, look at this big drop down from all-time high. It trailed down for a few days, 13 days, 98%. But after that, and people are selling the bottom, it came up and bounced up over 4,000%. So that's the beauty of the TAME token, this volatility. We're trading this, and that's why we're learning a little bit more about Pulsechain. And there's a few main tokens on Pulsechain network that I'm going to go over real quick. Go over here. Go to gopulse.com. These are some of those main tokens. And I charted the Pulsechain chart earlier. It's under that sacrifice rate. Let's look at that chart one more time for you guys out there. I think I may have closed that chart unless it's right here. Oh, Doge is pushing up more. I added more to my long earlier, by the way. You know what it is? I opened it on another screen. Let me save it on that. Let me save it. Let's go over here. TradingView.com. Let's go to, well, actually I opened it in here. I remember. Ah, it disappeared. All right, I found. So I had this chart right here. I don't think it saved my thing. Oh, it did save it, but it doesn't have my green block. Let me put my green block in here too. Have to take off this magnet. Let's put this as green and green. So I have a green block for Pulsechain. I think it's in a decent spot for people to buy Pulsechain. Let's reset this all the way. It's a little bit hard for you guys to read that price. Go over here, settings, go to canvas, text 40, boom. Now you can read a little bit better. But yeah, the Pulsechain chart looks like this. We were at sacrifice rate. We dropped down quite hard on that first few days and bounced up. Price did go up about 182% above sacrifice rate before it started facing major resistance. we fell under sacrifice rate at some lows before, about 68%, before bouncing from the lows to the recent high was 490% for the Pulsechain. But then we also had big sell pressure. After Richard Hart buys stopped, or whoever was buying stopped, people started taking profits fast. It came back to sacrifice rate and came back down to where we're at now. So it's still a decent area, I think, for loading up on Pulsechain if you think this network has potential. People like me just using it. I mean, my community token on Pulsechain, predominantly because the gas fees were cheap, and I could interact with a lot of people for very cheap gas fees early on to get my token early on. So I've been this token, TameToken.com. You can see it's over there for about 136 days. Let's go back to some other tokens. You have the Pulsechain token. People will use this one to do buy and burns. They provide liquidity pools between Pulsechain, Pulsechain. Sometimes they'll do liquidity Pulsechain and other tokens. And if you are providing liquidity, Pulsechain and Pulsechain, you are getting incentive token in those pools, which is where this incentive token comes from. This one has the lowest market cap, like $83 million. Let's look at this one real quick. So incentive token did some crazy stuff before. It shot all the way up to over $80 near the beginning. So if you were on Pulsechain early and you were farming incentive token, or you bought it early, this one went up a lot. Let me go over here. The way they have this built in, that chart, it's easy. This page, the chart doesn't really load as well. Maybe I can stretch it out a little bit. Yes. So it did go up to $80 from the beginning. And this thing was like under $1. But it went up over 3,000%, started coming back down. And then recently, when that OA wallet started buying up more Pulsechain, it pushed incentive token up. So we did find nice bottoms on this token around 50 cents to 75 cents. People started buying again at around 61 cents, and it shot up all the way to $10 for over 1,500%. And then it came back down, and it actually made a higher low. So when looking at a chart here, we actually see a higher low for this incentive token. Some people are already jumping in early because market cap's only $83 million. Supply of this token does go up though, so that is something to consider. Supply of this token does increase, and this is that incentive token. Let's go back over here. Let's look at HETS. This is HETS on Pulsechain. If you were holding HETS on Ethereum, you got airdropped this HETS for free. Let's take a look at this chart. This is the HETS on Pulsechain, not to be confused with HETS on Ethereum. So I'll say this is HETS PRC20. Same thing, when Pulsechain first launched, HETS on Pulsechain went up drastically. It went to over 4 cents, over 1,000% before coming back down. And if you look over here, we could start breaking this downtrend for the HETS on Pulsechain. We could start breaking this downtrend. If you look, it's very weird, this chart. But this is HETS on the PRC20 network. And then if we go back and you want to see HETS on the, like this price is 0.005. It's worth more than the HETS on Pulsechain. Sorry, HETS on Ethereum. You go super charts. Let's just load my favorite layout, ethers. Let's type HETS up here. And I wish I could switch it to the oldest chart. Okay, this is the HETS on Ethereum, the original HETS. Let me show you the original HETS. This is what started it all. So this is the original HETS. The original HETS on Ethereum. This is that chart. It performed quite bad in the beginning, but then started climbing and started finding some ground. And we used a magnet for this one. From December 2019 until all-time high, this token went up 3,507%. That took about 630 days. Just a reminder of how well this token has performed historically. So take a screenshot of that performance. If anything else on Pulsechain even does half or 10% of this, I will be happy. If Pulsechain, HETS, or TAME token, incentive token, if any of them go up 350,000%, I'll be happy. But HETS went up over 3.5 million%. Wow. How many of your tokens went up over 3 million%? So people like to say HETS fell, but it went up for weeks after launch. And it's still up from launch price. So a reminder of how far it went up before. How many of your tokens performed this well before? Like, we are going to go parabolic if any of these other tokens go up 0.1%. So many of us that are holding, I put this chart in the chart channel as well. This is what my Discord sees. If any of these Pulsechain tokens even perform 10% of this, many of us will become multi-millionaires. This is over 3.5 million%. What would you do with 3.5 million%? Come on. Do you have enough storage to put that much money? So, yeah. And if you look at the price now, even if we go back up to 19 cents, 20 cents from here, if you lock in this price, 0.004, all the way up to this white bar, that would be about 13,000%. Can you even handle those pumps? I'll be able to handle those pumps because I've been dollar cost averaging into HETS ever since 1 cent as well. I was dollar cost averaging before 1 cent. It hit 1 cent, came down, and I was still buying. So that's me dollar cost averaging because I'm ready for these pumps again on HETS. Just my 2 cents. But if we go back to tametoken.com, we're not even 10% of there yet. You look at Tame Token on the daily, we didn't perform as well as HETS did yet, but on the we're up to like 136 days from the beginning till here. We're up 975%. 975. Let's break down HETS real quick and look at the first 135 days, if it will let us. So let's look at the first 135 days chart pattern for HETS on Ethereum. So let me measure here from this price all the way here. Oh, I was close. Oh, HETS outperformed Tame Token by a lot. So HETS went up 3,596% from the beginning until day number 136. Let me add that to the chart channel as well. So this is HETS. So by comparison, HETS actually outperformed Tame Token for the first 136 days. So some people like to compare rug pulls like Gummy to HETS. This is HETS on the first 136 days. Let's go to debtscreener.com. I gotta warn you guys, there's gonna be a lot of rug pulls. There's going to be people who pull liquidity and all kinds of stuff. Let's look at Gummy real quick, how they rug pulled this thing that I was warning about in my Discord. So let's see how Gummy is doing right now for the first 74 days. So for the first 74 days after retail started trading, it's actually down 71%. So when you compare Gummy to HETS on the first 130 days, HETS went up over 3,000% and was holding in price, where Gummy just go down. And if you want to be fair, we can look at the first 67 days of HETS right here. So I see the area, so we can actually zoom in, drag this over. So we don't have to do the bottom. I don't like that bottom. I like to do at least go at 40% after liquidity is added. But the first trying to get 62. This is what the first 62 days of HETS looked like. It didn't really perform that well, and it actually dropped for a long period of time before actually pushing up. But we had this big push up just a few days before, which were cool. But this was the first 62 days of HETS. Not really stellar performance, but when you got out to the first 136 days, it performed really well. Going back to TAME token, our first 36 days, well, we measure from here, our first 67 days, I'm going to go over here. This was our first 67 days. We were up 511%. So TAME token did outperform HETS on the first 67 days. It outperformed Gummy on the first 67 days. But for the past, after 136 days, HETS outperformed TAME token. But HETS had more people. People were airdropped HETS for just holding Bitcoin before. They were able to get HETS for free by just holding Bitcoin. I didn't give all the Bitcoin holders TAME token. Could have been cool. I could have airdropped more TAME token earlier on. Maybe the price would be up higher, but that would have made more sell pressure. I don't know if our chart would have been more beautiful if I gave out more tokens for free. But we have low liquidity. If liquidity gets added by either whales or random people, and then price stabilizes here and then starts making higher highs on buys, I think that'd be interesting. But today we went over how to install MetaMask, how to use the Pulsechain network. We went over some of the Pulsechain top tokens and their charts. I try to warn you a little bit, avoid rug pulls. Just trade the top coins. Avoid rug pulls so you don't get scammed. I pointed out in Discord, I even put some of the risk with TAME token for you guys. I'll put that up. Like, the price is high with low liquidity. That's a red flag. The low amount of supply added to liquidity pool. So low amount of TAME token supply added to liquidity pool. That's another big red flag. I think that's about 61 million supply. A lot of people have more than 61 million TAME token. So that's another big red flag up there. But this is day number 136. We're not even a year out yet for this project. And I give a lot of the tokens away for free. People to try this stuff, experiment. Some people are holding. There's some people that I helped trade it over the counter so they could avoid gas fees early on before METC listed it. Even the main wallet supply dropped down drastically from what they're holding. If you look at top traders, you can see how much money people have been making trading this, their P&L. Look at some of their trades. Although, if we don't trade it actively daily, if this isn't being active, Debt Screener will not track this. I saw someone that was up over $700 at one point. So we have to trade this at least 1 or 2 transactions a day, keep this going so that we can have Debt Screener track it. But TAME token's up about 5.9% over the last 24 hours, just from some of those small buys that we were doing on this lesson today. When I go over here to the Pulsechain swap, I have a little bit of DAI. I have a little bit more Pulsechain left, about 100,000. I still have over 69 million TAME token. There was someone that bought the remaining balance over the counter, just waiting on that transaction. Then I will subtract it from this wallet. But always keep some Pulsechain because this is what you're going to use for those gas fees. If anybody has any questions, I'll take some questions now. I'm going to watch these crypto charts. We have a bullish pennant with the target for Doge coming up here above 12 cents. I even added more to my long as well earlier today. And I talked about that position coming into chat. All right. Anybody have any questions before I look into some of these charts real quick as well? I'll check the email, see a few questions. Yeah, if you're using a tablet, this is going to be a lot harder for you. You have to make sure it's in the right place. You might not be able to use a tablet for this unless you have the specific browser windows with the MetaMask being able to install. My current Doge long is down $278 that opened yesterday in yesterday's lesson. This lesson was a little bit more quick today. It was a little bit more on DeFi. And with this quick lesson, it gave people an opportunity to practice. So with that being said, for the homework, I'm gonna give you a little bit of homework. Let's go over here. Let's go to debtscreener.com. And we're going to ask people to try to put their, click on maker. And we're going to put their address here so we can see those for the homework. Let me add that to the Discord for the people to do this homework so that they can practice and get a little bit of experience on that as well. There's still a lot of people who have trouble with this. We're still early in the crypto game. So I'm going to highlight this real quick for the screenshot. Click maker. Put your address. And then so this homework's very simple. I'm going to throw this in the announcements. I'm not going to tag everybody. Well, homework from tonight's camp. And if you guys want to do this homework and send me use www.tametoken.com for this. So you use tametoken.com, get the chart. You click the maker down here first. You'll paste your MetaMask address, and then it will show in your chart. So I'll give you an example real quick. Go over here, and then I think this is mine. That is not mine. That's someone else's. I don't even remember who I am on here. So I just go up here in MetaMask. I'm going to copy my address real quick. Or one of my addresses. All right. Look at all those buys I've done so far. And now I'm just going to put this in the Discord for example. So this is what it's going to look like. If you guys want to do that homework, get a little bit extra practice. And I had a YouTube title about how much money I would earn if Doge goes to 36 cents. And that number is going to increase drastically because I have more contracts. Let me check how much I would earn at 36 cents. I still have to close all the orders at the same price. I will be moving soon, so you're going to see different backgrounds and stuff in the stream. This is what my current background looks like. Some of the stuff might stay with me, like this big one. So I have like 4090s I have to use and stuff. There's stuff over here you don't even see, but it keeps me full of energy. So I will be moving in the coming months, possibly coming days, I'm not sure. Just waiting to see. So there may be some downtime on the stream as well after we get done with the camp charts after the 4th of July holidays. So just letting you know. But I want to remind you, tomorrow, July 4th, watch your news to see if there's any fireworks at the White House. The White House may have some interesting fireworks July 4th. If you're going to be staying at home watching TV, otherwise I encourage you guys to go to your beaches, go to your lakes, your public parks that are going to have shows. Very entertaining. Let me get that number, how much I will earn if Doge goes to 36 cents now on just that one trade. On spot, it's a lot different. Let's see how much I would earn at 36 cents. Uh, 10,076%. So 10,000. So I might chart that a little bit now too. But let me I gotta send someone a message real quick. Let's go over that real quick if Doge does go there. I'm going to look over that chart real quick as well for you guys because you were here the other day. So let's go back over here. Let's go up here to the Dogecoin chart. I think I have one saved. I hope it's the same one from yesterday. Let's use the weekly chart. I think daily chart will be fine for this too. So let's do a little bit of math here as well. I'm just gonna get my position, my updated position for you guys. And then we can go from there. So I added more contracts. I also added more margin. So it's still a risky trade, but now my average went to 12,123. You know what? I made an indicator for this before. Yeah, I made an indicator for this before. So, where's that indicator at? Oh, I gotta add it to my chart. And then this value for my line, I'm gonna put the price in here. I don't like measuring sometimes, so I made this indicator. 0.112, sorry, 0.12123 is gonna be 1. I'm gonna add another line, 0.11267. Boom. And I'm gonna change the color as well. I even put it so I can add percentages, but I'm going to put the green for buying. And for this one, I'm going to change this to red color. Let me double check this real quick. I'm going to make this a price line. I'm going to make this one a price line as well for the style. And I'm going to, let's see here. Let's do the buy first real quick. Oh, okay, I know what's wrong. Base value 1. I was multiplying it. My bad. Let's actually put the base the line 1 2 1 2 3, and then I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna paste it, and then I'm gonna put my liquidation price as well. 0.11 267. I'm gonna change this to like red as well. So if you look right here, this is Dogecoin. And the green line represents where my long is at now, and my liquidation price so is red. So let me add right here on the chart. And my liquidation price, this is still like super risky for this trade, but I will go long at a lower price with a lower liquidation price if this happens. And average entry now is 0.12123. But let's measure this. Like if we go from here up to 36 cents, how much would I earn? Oh yeah, the margin. And now the updated margin is about $213 margin now. So base earning, so let's say 213 times 0.5 or divided by 2. I'll earn $106.05 every 1% price goes up. So that's how this trade is going to go so far for my Doge long. Let me take a screenshot right here. But if this goes down, let me add in here how much total margin was in there as well. Or the money you lost is down there. I'll add that later. I just want to get into the charts over here. Let me screenshot this as well. I'm going to screenshot this, and I'm going to add the take profits, how much I would earn at the thresholds. So I'm going to throw this and share your current trades on Discord. This is just one of those trades from the lessons yesterday that I added more to. All right, I'm going to click on share your current trades. I'll add this in there for you guys. And then I'm going to put a screenshot as well as that trade so we can see it. So I have the chart. I have this in here. Let me add this as well. So I did put the chart I'm going to add my wheats information in there as well, so that there's no questions about this one either. And here we go. I'm going to go over here. Let's add another line. Say if we break this resistance 12,852. So we go up to 12,852. If we go from the green price, let's add a magnet up to here. I would earn about, the price would go up about 6%. So 6 times 106.5. So if I take profits at 12.852, I earn about $639. I want more money than that for the trade since I'm risking about the same amounts. Although I am being greedy here. But let's go up a little bit more. If we hit this resistance 13,822. And let's measure this real quick. About 14%, so 106.5 times 14, $1,491. That's not bad. This is actually a pretty decent, like $1,000. If I can do that in about 2 days, that'd be pretty good. But I think this trade might take more than 2 days. Let me just take a screenshot of this for example. These are just like possible take profits. It's not where I'm going to take profits. So some possible short-term take profits, but I want to hold until 36 cents. So how much would I earn at 36? Let's just jump all the way there. Let's draw the line at 36. Let's do my indicator, copy, paste. I'm going to add this 0.36. And this would be a good take profit zone. So how much would 36 cents earn me? So let me get the measuring right on here. This might be a little bit harder. This is going to be very hard. I'm just going to do the math. So let's just do the math here. 0.36 minus 0.12123 equals that's about 23877. And so let's go down to here. Divided by 0.12123. Okay, that equals 0.169. So or let's just say 196%. So 196 times 0.50 times my margin I'm just doing the math for you guys. Let's do it this way. 0.50 times 213 margin equals so this is half of the margin is going to be that 106.5 number. So profits, so let's say leverage times margin for you guys who are confused. Profit, total profit equals 106.50 times 196 equals times 96. So this might be a little bit wrong. Let me double check. 106 point. It's about $10,244 is what it's looking like at 36 cents. It's not bad. Definitely not bad. It's not bad, but it's good. Take profits. If this would take like 2 months, I would be happy with that. If it takes 1 day, I would be very happy with that. So let me to fit everything in the chart here. And this is a dogecoin chart. Let's make this big. So this is the 36 cents take profit goal. That's how much I would earn. So it's a decent amount. But I think I'm doing this. I think I did the math a little bit wrong. Let me double check real quick to make sure no problem. So 0.23877. Looks about right to me. Let me check over here though, because it says I would earn about 10,000% of my margin over here. Seems about right. Seems about right. I did the math a little bit wrong somewhere up here. Let me double check. Oh, I see where I did the math wrong. It's not 196% because it's a 19,690%. So I have to multiply this even more. So it's not 196, it's 1960. And this number will be a lot bigger. So 106.50 times 1960. Sorry, 196. Sorry, 196. 106.5 times 196. 20,874. There it goes. This is right. I was looking at the numbers in the app and here, and this is where I made the mistake. But yeah, basically my margin is going to go up 19.69 times. Or 213 times 19.69 equals 213 times 19.69. No. All right. 196. 196. Let me take a screenshot of this. It's a lot of Doge that you could buy on spot unless the price of Doge appreciates. So let me take a screenshot of this possible take profit chart as well. Oh, man. So this is what that trade would look like. But it's a risky trade. It's a risky trade. I put that chart in there. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let's go back to see how Doge is actually performing with the other cryptos. Oh, wow. We have a bullish pennant for Doge as well. Trading view target for this bullish pennant goes up to here, above 12 cents. Liquidations go above 12 cents. Double bottom goes close to 12 cents. Top of these liquidations goes above 12.5 cents and a little bit closer to 13 cents. Anybody from tonight's class have any questions? I'll check the email one last time, Discord messages one last time, and YouTube chat one last time. If not, no questions, I'll probably wrap up this stream and we'll go back to the other charts, like automatic charts for the stream over there, and talk a few more minutes. All right. If you're on Discord, you can ask questions. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream so we can end this day 3 camp, and I'll load up the automatic charts. Thank you guys for watching. I'm your host, Tametheark.